Welcome students in the class of political science today, and today we will start the chapter number 3 of part 2. The name of the chapter is equality. Fine. So now we will do what is equality. Okay, why does equality matter? So students, we know that equality is a powerful moral and political ideal that has inspired and guided human society for many centuries. It is implicit in all faiths and religion which proclaim all human beings to be creation of God. Okay, so as a political ideal, the concept of equality invokes the idea that all human beings have an equal worth regardless of their color, gender, nationality, race. Fine. It maintains that human beings deserve equal consideration and respect because of their common humanity. Okay, it is this notion of a shared humanity that lies behind, for instance, the notion of universal human rights or crimes against humanity. If we talk about the modern period, the equality of all human beings has been used as a rallying slogan in the struggles against states and social institutions which uphold inequalities. Okay, and if we talk about other peoples also in the 18th century, the French revolutionaries used the slogan liberty, equality, and fraternity to revolt against the landed feudal aristocracy and the monarchy. We remember now we have done this in a class in previous classes also about French Revolution. So it was a particular slogan for the French revolutionaries: equality, fraternity, and liberty. The demand for equality was also raised during anti-colonial liberation struggles in Asia and Africa during the 20th century also. It continues to be raised by the struggle groups such as women or Dalits who feel marginalized in our society. Today, equality is a widely accepted idea which is embodied in the constitutions and laws for many countries. So, equality is very, very important. After learning from the history of equality, we know that all of them make distinction between human beings on ground of race, color, and these appear to most of us as unacceptable. In fact, such distinctions violate our intuitive understanding of equality, which tells us that all human beings should be entitled to the same respect and consideration because of their common humanity. However, treating people with equal respect need not mean always treating them in an identical way. No society treats all its members in exactly the same way under all conditions. The smooth functioning of society requires division of work and functions, and people often enjoy different status and rewards on accounts of it. Fine. At a times, these differences of treatment may appear acceptable or even necessary. So now the question arises that in which distinctions and differences acceptable and which are not. I'm again telling you the question that arises is which distinctions and differences are acceptable and which are not. So when people are treated differently just because they are born in a particular religion or race or caste or gender, we regard it as an unacceptable form of inequality. But human beings may pursue different ambitions, different goals, and not all may be equally successful so long as they are able to develop the best in themselves. We would not be feel that equality has been undetermined. Fine. So some may become good musicians while others may not be equally outstanding. Some become famous scientists also while others more noted for their hard work and consciousness. The commitment to the ideal of equality does not imply the elimination of all forms of differences. It merely suggests that the treatment we receive and the opportunities we enjoy must not be predetermined by birth or social circumstances. Means differences are required. Okay, differentiates are required, but thing is that we can't say that all person can be treated equally at the same time. Okay, as per their caliber, as per their capabilities, they can be different. Okay, so let's take the example of the whole class. Suppose 40 students are there in a one class. Okay, can all score the same marks? Can any teacher give to them the same marks? Every student is having a different caliber or capabilities, na? So we can't say that we want to promote equality in the class, so that's why we are scoring all of you in the same with the same marks. This shouldn't be happen. So with the equality, we have to keep these things also. We have to go with all these things also in the society. Thing is that the people should not be discriminated by birth or caste. We will move to the next topic, which is equality of opportunities. The concept of equality implies that all people as human beings are entitled to the same rights and opportunities to develop the skills and talents and to pursue their goals and ambitions. This means that in a society, people may differ with regards to their choice and preferences. They may also have different talents and skills, okay, which result in some being more successful in their chosen careers than others. But just because only some become ace cricketers, successful lawyers, it doesn't follow that the society should consider unequal. In other words, it is not the lack of equality, status or wealth or privilege that is significant, but the inequalities in people's access to such basic goods as education, health, safe housing, care, etc., that make for an unequal and unjust society. Okay, let's move to the next topic, that is what is natural and social inequalities. If we talk about distinction has sometimes been made in political theory between natural inequalities and social produced inequalities. Natural inequalities are those that emerge between people as a result of their different capabilities and talents. These kinds of inequalities are different from socially produced inequalities, which emerge as the consequences of inequalities of opportunity or the exploitation of some groups in a society by others. Suppose men are superiors to women. It is a natural inequality. You can't do anything about it. Okay, suppose we said that the women cannot do anything. So such type of inequalities are known as a natural inequality. Suppose I get more marks than you in every subject. Suppose a boy says to a girl, and I also help my mother. The girl said, I also help my mother in housework. So what makes you superior? This is the answer of a girl. Fine. So I'm just telling you, there is a discussion between a boy and a girl. Suppose the girl said, I get more marks than you in every subject, and I also help my mother in housework. So what makes you superior? And the boy is saying that men are always superior to women. It is a natural inequality. So such type of beliefs come under natural inequality that are not acceptable. Fine. All the natural inequalities are considered to be the result of the different characteristics and abilities which people are born. It is generally assumed that natural differences cannot be altered. And if we talk about social inequalities on the other hand are those created by society. Certain societies may, for instance, value those who perform intellectual work over those who do manual work and reward them differently. They may treat differently people of different race or color or gender or caste. Differences of this kind reflect the values of society, and some of these may certainly appear to us to be unjust. The distinction is sometimes useful in helping us to distinguish between acceptable and unfair inequalities in society, but it is not always clear or self evident. For instance, when certain inequalities in the treatment of people have existed over a long period of time, they may appear to us as a justifiable because they are based on the natural inequalities. That is characteristics that people are born with, they cannot easily change. For example, women were for long described as the weaker sex, considered timid and of lesser intelligence than men, needing special protection. Therefore, it was felt that denying women equal rights could be justified. Black people in Africa, if we talk about, they were considered by their colonial masters to be the lesser intelligence, childlike, and better at manual work, sports, and music. This belief was used to justify institutions like slavery. All these assessments are now questioned. In these days, all these assessments are questioned. They are now seen as distinctions made by society as a result of these differences of power between people and nation rather than based on their inborn characteristics. So there are lots of problems. First is which arises with the idea of natural differences, that some differences which could be considered natural need no longer be seen as unalterable. For instance, advances in medical science and technologies have helped many disabled people to function effectively in society. Today, computers can help blind people, wheelchairs and artificial limbs can help in cases of physical disability. Even a person's looks can be changed with the cosmetic surgery. The famous physicist Stephen Hawking can hardly move or speak, but he has made major contributions to science. So it would seem unjust to most people today if disabled people are denied necessary help to overcome and the effects of their disability or a fair reward for their work.